John Cena announced that he is going to be officially retiring from wrestling. Cena has been around for decades now. He's done everything you could possibly do in WWE, but the question mark is going to be, as John Cena even mentioned, he's going to have some final matches. He's going to have a final year run in WWE. Today, we're going to go through what those matches could be and what we want them to be. So I'm going through the WWE roster right now, cross brands, to see what could John Cena be doing? He did mention Royal Rumble, Elimination Chamber, WrestleMania 41, and then through 2025. These are in no particular order. The first one I'm just looking at, Trick Williams. I want to see at some point in 2025, Trick Williams versus John Cena. This could be at like Stand and Deliver. I don't care where it is, but I want to see John Cena and Trick Williams go face to face, cut some promos, and just have a match. They could just do it on NXT TV if they want to. One quick little prediction there though, it would make total sense from WWE side. You get John Cena versus Trick on the debut episode of NXT TV on Sci-Fi that they do in like, what is it, October, November? So when that move happens, they should totally get Cena over there with Trick. So that's one of my first picks. Next up, I want them to revisit this, and it would make sense because this person's character is fully heel. He's off TV right now, but when he comes back, it would be a really good time for John Cena and this guy to do something phenomenal. AJ Styles. I want Cena and Styles to revisit their feud they had a couple of years ago. It was a lot of fun. It was right when AJ Styles was coming into WWE. He was fresh, and his feud with Cena was really good. You got a heel AJ Styles, you rekindle this whole feud, you got the OC involved, you can kind of just redo it all over again. So I'd love to see it as a one-off match. Another match I wouldn't mind them doing, again, we got like a whole year of Cena here, so we got some time where we can plug stuff in. We don't know if it's going to be like every PLE, just Raws and SmackDowns, the whole thing. He's probably going to cherry pick some stuff, but I wouldn't mind seeing them try to do this again in 2025. Cena versus Austin Theory. Now hear me out. The WrestleMania match between Cena and Theory is trash. It was not good. The build was crap. Cena just squashed Theory in the promos, basically saying, "You beat me, and then what?" And we did literally what happened. He beat him, and then nothing happened to Theory. He walked around talking about how he beat John Cena. It is no good. So now we have Theory in an interesting spot because they're teasing, obviously, after they've lost the tag titles, they've been teasing Theory and Grayson Waller breaking up. Probably get that match at like SummerSlam. And then once Theory has done all of that, and if they can figure Theory out as a babyface, as a good babyface, somebody that people can get behind and enjoy, they could build him up for like 6 months. Then you might be able to redo Theory versus Cena and have it actually be enjoyable. Because the first one was not that good. All right, next person on the list, Baron Corbin. I said it. I do want to see Baron Corbin versus John Cena. I'm not going through the entire roster, trust me, but I do want to see Baron Corbin, John Cena one more time. I've even seen people gag online that they're like, Baron Corbin should retire John Cena. I was like, oh no. But they could redo this match. Like, it's not bad. It could totally work. Baron Corbin's in a new stage of his career. He did great work in NXT. I wouldn't mind it if we just got a SmackDown match where it's Baron Corbin. He comes out and he's like, hey, and then they just fight and just an attitude adjustment and it's over. I expect Cena to win some matches, by the way, because in his last run, he lost a lot. So I think Baron Corbin, though, Cena, redo that at a pay-per-view or excuse me, PLE, or redo it on SmackDown. A lot of this is like second chances for a lot of people to get over on Cena. All right. Okay. This I really want to see, and I think they could actually tell a bit of a story arc with it for at least a month and get to a PLE if they wanted to. John Cena could do something like an open challenge and just kick it off, even soon, even if they get into things like the Royal Rumble and he wants to kick off a WrestleMania match. A possible WrestleMania match, maybe not the match by anybody's standards, but a possible Mania match could be Braun Breaker versus John Cena. Now, Breaker just lost to Sami Zayn very clean. I did not care for that, but we could end up seeing Braun Breaker getting elevated. He's the new guy. He's like the new, young Brock Lesnar. Like they're gonna figure Braun Breaker out, and they've been doing a really good job of building Breaker as this just adrenaline, just hard-on guy, just ready to run through everything that's in his way. You could come out with the youngest guy versus the old guy that is retiring in Cena. Braun Breaker would be a really good match, be a really good feud where Cena can put over Breaker to try and elevate him a little bit higher. Him losing to Sammy was just and purely clean. That didn't work for me, brother. But Braun Breaker versus Cena in a proper feud could do a lot. You could see like Breaker beating up Cena for like the first match at a PLE, and then Cena getting his win back the next two times probably. Now, I don't know if this would happen. I don't even know if this next one I want it to happen. Cena versus Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar has not been on TV, but I expect Brock to come back at some point. I do. I don't think he's just going to be done. I think he will want to have some kind of proper send-off final run. Did everything he could with Roman Reigns. We're finally done with that. I'd like to see what another Cena Brock match would look like now, where both guys would be basically legacy. They represent the ruthless aggression era, and you have them come together one more time. They've had like the 2012 matches and so on. They've had those matches where Brock just dominated, and you're basically getting a finisher match out of it. As long as Brock just doesn't hurt Cena, that would be the main thing. And I think they'd be fine together. But you could tell a fun story where you have Cowboy Brock and John Cena one more time. And frankly, you could pull a lot from just vignettes and their entire history together. It'd kind of be a lot of fun. That's worth definitely like an international PLE. Maybe even WrestleMania. Someone else I want to see Cena take on, Dirty Dom. I want to see Dominic Mysterio versus John Cena, messing it up with whatever the Judgment Day will become. And then just, yeah, attitude adjustment, Dirty Dom, tag team with Ray, do something like that, and have him go up against whatever form the Judgment Day will be in against Dirty Dom. But I think Dominic Mysterio, John Cena could be fun. Okay, another big one is going to be Gunther. Now, there is talk already of people being like, hey, is John Cena versus Gunther for the world title. You could do that. You could do that. Doesn't make any sense that John Cena would win, but we'll talk about titles in a minute. But Gunther versus Cena, see, Gunther's already like solidified himself as like top guy. And let's assume for a second that Gunther is going to win at SummerSlam, because by all accounts he should and probably will. And then he'll go on this long, glorious reign as the Ring General and the World Heavyweight Champion. Do you need Gunther to get like another high profile win? Or is he kind of good? I mean, we still need the Brock versus Gunther match, but if I can't get that, maybe Cena versus Gunther for the world title would be cool, because then it could be John Cena going for the record, and then you could break Ric Flair's record, potentially. But I don't think they would have Cena go over on Gunther. I don't think they would do it. I don't think they pull the trigger. But you could get Gunther even more elevated, and you're getting Cena involved in like a potential final world title situation. It'd be kind of cool to see Cena win a belt. But it could be somebody like Gunther. Gunther could even be like Cena's like final opponent. Do something like that. So it's gonna be cool to see who his final opponent could be. Another match I totally think is going to happen, because this person tends to interview them and then gets them in the match. It eventually does happen. John Cena versus Logan Paul, I think will happen. I think it's a money program. I think it would be high profile enough that you could do it at Chamber, Rumble. You could do it at WrestleMania if you want to do that. We know Logan Paul can deliver in the ring. You could have some really good promos with John Cena and Logan Paul. Do them just tearing it up into each other. Logan Paul can just go off and just tell John that he's just too old and bald and all that stuff. And then John Cena can just attitude adjustment the guy. And again, it's one of those things where like John Cena could beat Logan Paul. It doesn't hurt Logan Paul that much because he's not on TV ever so often. And it would just be a big popular match. It'd be one of those big ones that WWE can really market, because that's what they do with Logan Paul. And Logan Paul has had matches with like every high profile person in WWE so far, and he's about to go at it with LA Knight. Yeah. So Logan Paul is totally going to happen in my eyes. I mentioned LA Knight. I do want to see it happen. We've had John Cena raise the hand of LA Knight. We've seen them be like dancing it up with the Bloodline last year. So do I want maybe LA Knight and John Cena in a tag team match? Maybe. But I still think I want to see LA Knight versus John Cena in just a clean babyface versus babyface match. Go at it for 15 minutes. They kind of wrestle the same too. They're very similar. Promos would be outstanding. That's the main thing. You give me 3-4 weeks of promos of LA Knight just talking trash to John Cena about he's washed up and retired, call him a dummy finally, and then John Cena just standing there. I think it'd be LA Knight versus John would be good. That'd be a good international PLE moment. Now, as I go through the roster, you could probably make a case for so many wrestlers that John Cena should face all of that. Roman Reigns is not really on my list. I'm sure a lot of people are gonna say, give me Roman versus Cena and let's do that again. I don't really need to see it, because at this point it's just not going to work, because Roman's clearly going to come back as a babyface, and I think that they're just going to be in different universes, kind of. I don't think that match needs to happen. You got John Cena coming out to help defeat the Bloodline at WrestleMania 40. Maybe a killer, like, big blockbuster match, but I don't feel like it's gonna happen. Could be wrong, could be way wrong. Now there are three names. I got 3 more names that I think will be Cena's biggest matches, potentially. 1, Cody Rhodes. I think that we should get Cody versus Cena one-on-one in just a respect face match. The two going off, just this one-time shot at a PLE, or it could be a match on SmackDown that they want to hype up for like 2 weeks. But I think that you should get Cody versus Cena just for them to be able to go and have that match with one another. You could do it for the title though. You could say, have Cena come out and go, and you could do this like with the world title as well, but the bigger match would be against Cody holding that title. You could have Cena come out and say, I'm challenging Cody Rhodes. I got to do this one more time to try and get this belt. I want the WWE Championship. I want to be able to hold this, and I will retire as champion. And you could have Cena try to do something like that. At least there you have like a nugget of a story. Again, you could do this with the world title if it's somebody like Gunther holding the title. Then that way you could still have Cena showing up being like, I'm trying to get one more belt before I retire, and when I win the belt, I will retire officially, and that's it. And you build the intrigue of like, well, it doesn't seem like Cena would ever beat Cody, but you leave a little bit of intrigue for the fans by saying, well, maybe he will. Maybe they will put it on Cena. So Cena versus Cody absolutely needs to happen in my eyes. The next one, there's 2 more. The next one, CM Punk. I'm a big Punk fan, and one of my favorite CM Punk matches was going to be Punk versus Cena, Money in the Bank 2011. And I want to see CM Punk versus John Cena one more time at Money in the Bank 2025. Because what if? They haven't announced it yet, have they? But what if Money in the Bank next year was in Chicago? And it's just kind of like a little bit of a full circle there, because Money in the Bank 2011 was extremely special, and the build up in the promos between Punk and Cena were classic. They're legendary. They are right in the midst of Punk's big pipe bomb, the summer of Punk, everything to do with Triple H, the Authority, all of that stuff. And Cena was wedged in there too. And the promos between these two guys was amazing. The build, the packages were fantastic. And that match on its own, it stands on its own. And I think even Punk did some press conference stuff reacting to John Cena's retirement news at Money in the Bank, and basically saying, yeah, he wants to pull him out of retirement, or he wants to retire him, one or the other, but they want to have that match. But as a fan, I want to see that match one more time at Money in the Bank, and hopefully in Chicago. So there's one more on my list, and this one should either be his final match or his WrestleMania 41, his final WrestleMania match, one or the other. And because it would be kind of fitting, and it would tie a bow on Cena's career in my eyes as a fan. I think his final Mania or final match, final one where he says goodbye, would be against Randy Orton. I think because their careers are so intertwined, they worked so much together throughout their career, they came up in OVW, it's just fitting. They have done the Rivals on their careers, the WWE Rivals episodes of Randy Orton versus John Cena coming up the exact same time. I think that that's how you should end Cena's career. And if you're not going to end it with that match, then I think that is John Cena's final WrestleMania match. WrestleMania opponent is going to be against Randy Orton. And for some quick fantasy booking, an easy way to do that is either you just have that story on its own, have these two guys just get in the ring, Randy gets a little bit more prickish and he turns a little bit more heel on Cena and says, I want to have that final Mania match against you, and then you just do the match. Or you could have both guys in the Royal Rumble and you could have Randy Orton eliminate John Cena, thus setting up their match, or Cena eliminates Randy Orton in the Royal Rumble after the two go face to face. Because if you do that, then Randy come out, boom, RKO to John Cena. Randy gets pissed because he cost him his title opportunity, potentially against like Cody, and you're good to go. And you've set up their match for WrestleMania. But who are your opponents for John Cena for his final year? And if you guys enjoy videos like this, hit the notification bell so you're always up to date on the videos we drop. And you can click right here for more WWE content like our Money in the Bank review. Have a great day. See ya.